Hello, Mid-Michigan, and welcome back to Tennyson Stadium on the campus of Central Michigan University for more Sacred Heart Academy Championship Baseball. Right down below us, we've got Sacred Heart Baseball royalty sitting right behind home plate as well. Mr. Jason Bogue, Mr. Joel McDonald, Mr. Grady Perrett. Grady Perrett, who actually won the batting title for the Elma College Baseball Conference earlier this year in his freshman season. They put him in the starting lineup. He went 10 of 15, and they could never really take him out after that. It's Chris Bachman here with you, ready to bring you the action once again. Sacred Heart Academy now taking on Portland St. Pat's, one of the few teams that have actually knocked them off this year. And so this is going to be a battle for the ages. The one thing that did happen, Brady Leonard did throw in the first game for Portland St. Pat's. He is their quote-unquote ace, but they've got more than one ace. Sean Fedewa will be on the mound for Portland St. Pat's here today versus Nate Gator Siler. We've got two of the top pitchers in the state playing for a right to go to the state championships next week in East Lansing. What an atmosphere we've got. What a game it's going to be. This is the Woods Household pregame show. You can see Sacred Heart finishing their warm-ups out there. We're scheduled for a 3 p.m. first pitch, and so we're going to send it out to a commercial break to hear from some more of our great friends. When we come back, we'll talk about keys to victory for this game. It's a lot different than the last game, just getting ahead of Fulton, letting your pitching take care of the deal. This one's going to be a bit different. Back with more Irish Regional State quarterfinal baseball right after this. Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Jenna Gates.
And Kyle Gates here. We are the 5th generation with Gates Drilling and Service.
We've been serving our friends and neighbors in Michigan since 1893.
We have the latest and greatest well drilling technology, allowing us to put in wells where others can't.
Lake lots and tight spaces are no problem.
From our family to yours, thank you, and call at 989-772-7841 for all your well drilling and service needs.
Gates Drilling and Service, where Gates goes, water flows.
Bill's Custom Fab can handle any job you need, from large-scale steel building projects to fixing your favorite stainless serving pan. Bill's Custom Fab can weld and fabricate anything. Call today at 989-772-5817 or stop by on Gover Parkway in Mount Pleasant. Good luck to all of our local athletes from Bill's Custom Fab.
The Bird in downtown Mount Pleasant, open every day but Sunday for lunch and dinner. Delicious pizza, the world-famous Bird Burger, handcrafted, fresh-baked subs, many apps, and much more. There's something for everyone at The Bird in downtown Mount Pleasant, where friends gather like family. The Bird, supporting high school sports in mid-Michigan for nearly 100 years. We have all seen this sticker, maybe in Mount Pleasant, Beale City, Ithaca, or Traverse City. There is a reason you see that sticker everywhere. That's because Dick Sova Auto Sales has been selling sharp used cars and trucks for 3 generations. Stop in to see the Sova family in downtown Shepherd for your next low-mileage, immaculate car, and see why they're known for over 40 years of fantastic customer service. Or you can view their inventory now at DickSovaAutoSales.com. Dick Sova Auto Sales, selling sharp used cars and trucks and supporting sharp student athletes. Powell Frame and Collision knows we all spend a lot of time looking out the windshield. So if yours gets cracked, dented, damaged, or destroyed, Powell Frame and Collision, along with their expert collision service, now offers expert auto glass replacement. Working with insurance, they can replace all makes and all models, including new advanced driver assistance system windshields. Mention you saw this ad and you get $100 off of your windshield replacement. Powell Frame and Collision, downtown Shepherd. For over 4 decades, ENS Graphics has delivered confidence, trust, and peace of mind by providing their customers with expert service and using state-of-the-art technology. We all know in sports, what's on the inside counts the most. But when it comes to your business, school, organization, what's on the outside does matter. If your business needs anything printed, ENS Graphics can do it. If you want your club, team, organization to look good, ENS can help with that. They take your vision and make it their mission. ENS Graphics, a proud supporter of the Mid-Michigan community and their local athletes. Visit ENS Graphics at their location down in Ithaca or visit their website at esgraphics.com. ENS Graphics, printing all things physical.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
We have the meeting of the minds happening right now at home plate. We've got 35-4 Sacred Heart Academy, and I got to pull it up to double check. We have got 31-2 Portland St. Pat's. So you combine these two teams' record, you're looking at a 65-6 squad if you combine these two teams. These are the two top-ranked teams in Division IV baseball all year long in the MSHAA PRP rankings. You could say safely the winner of this game will be favorites to win the state semifinals and the state finals next week. It's Portland St. Pat's. It's Sacred Heart Academy ready to battle it out here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. And we actually went through that Portland St. Pat's lineup. I went through that lineup card just moments ago, but they're introducing all the players right now. Brenton Scobie on the loudspeaker. That will have me sending it out to another commercial break. We'll get everything all set up. When we come back, the starting lineup, those keys to victory for Sacred Heart Academy versus Portland St. Pat's. As number 1, Portland St. Pat's. Number 2, Sacred Heart Academy, ready to battle it out for the right to play at Michigan State University in the state semifinals next week. Back with the lineups, opening pitch, keys to victory, right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Hi, I'm attorney Joe Barbary. Just like doctors specialize in areas of medicine, at Barbary Law, we specialize in getting you the best possible results. If you've been injured by someone else's negligence, you owe it to yourself and your family to call our legal team. At Barbary Law, we focus on one thing, and that's getting you the compensation you deserve. Every case we take personally.
My attorney is Joe Barbary, he can be yours too.
Konwinski Construction offers a full range of construction services on small and large projects. Konwinski Construction is a leader in the community and are proud to support those student athletes who will be leading our community tomorrow. Konwinski Construction on Gover Parkway, Mount Pleasant. Mount Pleasant Automotive on Mission has been serving local auto shops and do-it-yourselfers since 1988. Mount Pleasant Automotive is locally owned and carries all the auto part, car care products, and auto maintenance supplies you will need. Visit them online at mtpleasantautomotive.com. Mount Pleasant Automotive, caring for our cars and our local student athletes. Bogwai Banga and Bradley on Main Street in Mount Pleasant provides uncompromising integrity when providing tax and accounting services to individuals and small businesses in the Mid-Michigan area. Bogwai Banga and Bradley has an expert CPA ready to help you, whether you're an individual that needs help with taxes or a business that needs help with, well, just about everything. Bogwai Banga and Bradley is a leader in the community and a proud supporter of local high school sports. Visit them online at bwbpc.com or stop into their office on Main Street in downtown Mount Pleasant. Joe Wentworth with Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates is a proud supporter of our local high school student athletes, working hard and showing pride for our community. For all of your real estate needs, go with Joe. Joe Wentworth with Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates, 989-817-1291. Martinez Lawn Care knows your outdoor space is more than just a yard. It's where life happens. Martinez Lawn Care provides mowing services, yard cleanups, maintenance, and more to keep your outdoor space the best place for life to happen. Call Martinez Lawn Care today at 989-317-5536. Brickner and Bunker Farm Bureau Insurance Group is Mid-Michigan's #1 team for protecting what matters most to you. Home, auto, life, farm, business, they offer a wide variety of coverage at affordable rates with the customer service of a best friend. Visit Brickner and Buckner Farm Bureau Insurance Group on Pickard Road or visit them online at bricknerbunkerinsurance.com.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Beautiful rendition of the national anthem there, courtesy of Brenton Scobie. No longer of Mount Pleasant Public Schools, I guess of Central Michigan University, as he has put on that graduation cap and now going from the blue and gold to the maroon and gold. Here we go. I said again. I'll say it another time. I'll say it 20 more times throughout this game. It's number 1, Portland St. Pat's versus number 2, Sacred Heart Academy. State quarterfinal baseball. It does not get much better than this. Maybe only 2 more games that could be better than this. On the field first, in the field first, will be the Irish. On the mound, Mr. Nate Gator Siler. On the year, he has 124 strikeouts to 7 walks. When I said that number to Joe Marciano earlier, his jaw just kind of dropped. He's on the season? Yes, on the season. He has been unbelievable behind the plate. Hank McDonald, the all-time Sacred Heart Academy RBI leader for a season, was solid behind the plate as well in Game 1 after getting thrown there after Mr. Brody Collins went out with an injury. Brady Davis at first base. Brody Collins a lot tougher than I am. He is back at second base, ready to rock and roll. Jackson Moore at shortstop. At third, Noah Zion. Out in left field, Mr. Nico Vasquez. In center, Tegan Duffy. And out in right field, it's Maxim Boykin Lynch. Leading things off for Portland St. Pat's is going to be the shortstop, Jared Shire. Then it's Charlie Thalen and Brady Leonard. That is who's due up, brought to you by our friends Woods Household Appliance, Brad Malley Well Drilling, and Malley Construction. Much love, Brent and the crew up at Woods Household Appliance. A bit of a shorter Woods Household pregame show here for game number 2, as we needed just enough time to stop our one broadcast to go to a second one. As I mentioned, things kind of going a little slow. Well, not a little slow, but that battery kind of wearing down. And we've got the old iPad out. We should be good for one game, though. I will make that joke. If something did go wonky, did go wrong, we'd switch it right over to the other iPad. It should be good to go. But if it wasn't, we'd immediately be going live on the phone on Facebook. That is a dire straight situation. But with these 2 pitchers on the mound, I don't think we're looking at a 2.5, 3-hour ball game here. I think we're looking at about an hour and a half, a 2-hour ball game with these 2 great defenses, these 2 great pitchers. Siler ready to rock on the mound. He always takes a dip of the knee and a quick prayer before he steps onto the rubber for the first time. Here we go. Sacred Heart Academy, Portland St. Pat's, regional or state quarterfinal baseball. This one right towards second base. It's going to get by Collin for a leadoff single for Shire. And again, the Spockman box score's got that as a single. The official box score is going to have that as an error, and not the way you wanted things to start off here for your Sacred Heart Academy, as Shire, the leadoff man, gets on, and he's a huge threat to steal second base. Very similar to talking about Noah Zion, Brady Davis, Tegan Duffy. If they get a good jump, you're not throwing them out no matter how well you're throwing from behind home plate. First pitch to Thalen's going to be over for a strike on the inside part of the plate. Siler holds that glove up right towards the eyes as he gets the sign out. Quick check over to first base. Just back in time is Mr. Shire. And that quick move from Siler could have Shire stand a step or 2 closer. That's what you need to do for your catcher behind the plate if you're trying to throw somebody out at second. You need to give Hank McDonald that extra step as opposing to the runner getting that extra step. Another quick throw over to first base. Diving back in time is Shire. Digging back in at the plate is Charlie Thalen. 0-1 count. Start of the ball game. Leadoff runner is on for Portland St. Pat's. Next pitch from Siler is going to be popped way up in the air. Calling everybody off at third base is Noah Zion. He will make the catch. So pop up to third base. And not an easy play for Zion. It's really sunny out there. You got a little bit of wind as well, making things a bit more difficult. Now stepping to the plate is Brady Leonard. You got credit for the victory in their first game here today where they took out a Maple City Glen Lake. I think that final ended up being 9-1 or something like that. So Sacred Heart Academy winning their game 12-0 in 5 innings over Fulton beat Fulton for the 3rd time this year to move on to this championship game. First pitch is going to be fouled off out of play. 0-1 the count to Brady Leonard. Love to our friends Bryce Updegraff, Joe Wentworth, Pradam Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates, our sponsor of Closing the Deal. It was Jackson Moore who closed the deal in the last game for the Irish. Another quick throw over to first base. Diving back in time is Shire. Back to the middle of the mound is Mr. Siler. Checks that runner over at first. Throws over there once again, but back safely is Shire. Back to Siler it goes on the mound. And keys to victory for this game. When you get the leadoff runner on, you got to get him in. And they got the leadoff runner on here in the first inning in Jared Shire. And now it's an 0-1 count with one down. So that goes for both teams here. And if there's a runner on base, you need to put the ball in play. You can't go down via punch-out. You got to count on a couple of errors out here for these teams defensively. Here comes the 0-2. Just missing the outside part of the corner there for Siler. 1-2 now to Brady Leonard. And the other thing, steal selectively, be smart on the base paths. You cannot get thrown out. You cannot waste outs on the bases. Last year, this game was 5-4 in 12 innings. Check throw over to first base once again. Shire is back in safely. Count remains 1-2. Leonard steps out, steps back in. Siler winds the deals. Runner fakes like he's going to go. It's just going to miss the outside corner of the plate there. The count's now 2-2. Tyler Thalen is on deck. Behind him is Isaiah Rocky. 2-2 the count as Brady Leonard steps back to the plate. Siler checks that runner at first. Winds and deals with the 2-2. Breaking ball is going to stay just high. It's going to run the count full to 3-2 for Brady Leonard. So as I mentioned, on the year, 124 strikeouts to just 7 walks. And so probably going to see something over the plate here if you're Brady Leonard. Here comes the 3-2. The runner going, swing and a miss. It's a punch out. McDonald won't make the throw down to second base. I don't mind the decision as that's the second out. So the first punch out of the game, the 3-hitter Brady Leonard going down on strikes against Mr. Siler. Hank McDonald now a quick walk out to the mound to make sure him and Siler are on the same page. That'll bring the cleanup hitter, Tyler Thalen, to the plate. They do have a runner in scoring position here. And I said it moments ago, keys to victory, if you get the leadoff runner on, you got to get him in to score. There's now 2 outs. That runner has moved up to second base now for Portland St. Pat's. So this is a big moment here that Tyler Thalen can put one in play, send one to the outfield here. You will be able to score Shire from second base with his speed. Check of the runner at second base. Here comes the pitch from Siler. Too much gas. Thalen not able to catch up to that one. 0-1 the count. Siler is quickly ready to work before Hank McDonald even ducks back behind the plate. Here comes the 0-1 from Siler. He checks that runner at second. Right down the pipe for strike 2. Again, when you're playing high school baseball, a lot of times you want to go up there and take the first couple pitches because chances are it's going to be 1-1 or 2-0. Not today. Not this game with Fedwa and Siler. You take a couple pitches, you're going to quickly be down 0-2 because these guys are all over the strike zone. Here comes the 0-2 from Siler. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 2 punch-outs here in the first for Siler. It was Brady Davis punching out 2 per inning most of the game. We'll see if Siler can continue that trend. Due Up, brought to you by our friends at Barbary Law, Gates Drilling and Service, Bill's Custom Fab, and the Bird All-American Grill. It's Noah Zion, Tegan Duffy, and Brady Davis. When I've seen Noah Zion this postseason, he's gotten on base. He's came around to score in this first inning an awful lot. If you can do that here in the bottom of the first inning against Portland St. Pat's, I think you're going to be in really, really good shape here if you're Sacred Heart Academy with the way Siler looked in that first inning. Again, the Spockman box score has got the leadoff single for Shire, but you look at the official scoreboard here, you can see 0 hits up there as that one was ruled an error. Zion, Duffy, Davis due up. If any of them reach, it will be Nate Gator Siler. On the mound, Fedwa, he's the DH in this one. That's something you rarely see in high school baseball. Usually your pitchers are your best hitters. Rarely do you have a pitcher that you got somebody DHing for him. And so kind of something to think about Fedwa. That's what he does. He's out there on the mound. He's on a travel team with Nate Siler, and I think he's the one guy on the travel team that's only listed as a pitcher. Everybody else is an outfielder, an infielder, maybe a catcher as well. But you know, if all he can do is throw it, if he's on that travel team, he can do it well. Quick throw down to second base from the catcher behind the plate as we are ready for the action here in the bottom of the first inning. It's Sacred Heart Academy. It's Portland St. Pat's here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. State quarterfinal baseball, the number 1, the number 2 teams in the state. Winner of this game is going to be favored to win the state championship. A lot of room towards third base if Zion thought about dropping down a bunt. Great movement on that first pitch from Federer, but it's going to miss. 1-0 the count to Noah Zion. Wearing number 3, plays third base. Superstar on the basketball court, the all-time leading scorer for Sacred Heart Academy basketball. Think about how successful, how storied that program is. What a career he has had. 2-0 the count. He's going to take that one as well. It's going to be over the plate. 2-1 now the count to Noah Zion. Sean Fedwa on the mound. That one's also going to be over for a strike. Count now back to 2-2. Big cut that time. It's going to be a swing and strike. They had to tag him as well, but it's a punch out. Zion is not going to reach base. I think that might be the first time all year long I have not seen Noah Zion reach base the very first at-bat of the game. It's now going to bring up Tegan Duffy. First pitch to Duffy is going to be over for a strike. And very similar to Siler, you're going to have to come to the plate and be very, very aggressive against Fedwa because he's going to be all over the strike zone. As I say that, that one misses outside. Breaking ball, Baroque, a little too much for him on that one. Next pitch, this one's going to be sent high towards center field. Leonard is going to gather underneath it right on the edge of the flying C here at Tennyson Stadium to make the catch. There is now 2 down. That's going to bring Brady Davis to the plate. Boy, has he had himself a day already. What he did in the regional championship game. Set them all down, only allowed 1 hit through, I think it would have been 4 that he ended up throwing. He struck out 8. Swings at the first pitch, swings through it for strike 1. Next pitch, that one's going to miss inside. Ball goes out to second base. Quickly get it back in. So kind of gathering things around here defensively for Portland St. Pat, so we can break that down for you. That one, not inside. It's going to be a called strike. That was one of those Davis kind of lifted up the arms to make sure that didn't catch him in the elbow, but it was still over the corner for strike 2. Put this one in play. He'll foul it off. Count now 1-2, or remaining 1-2 here to Brady Davis as he fouls one off. Pitch number 4 of the at-bat upcoming. Fedwa kind of checking things defensively around him. Here comes the pitch. This one's going to be put in play. High fly ball in between shortstop and left field. Jared Shire going from his shortstop position out to short center field to make the catch, or short left field, you could say. 1, 2, 3, the Irish go in the first. And they got one guy on at the top of the first inning, but then they kind of went 1, 2, 3 after that. It's Rocky, Howe, and Simon due up in the second for Portland St. Pat. State quarterfinal baseball all on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Back with more right after this.
Hi, I'm Attorney Joe Barbary. Just like doctors specialize in areas of medicine, at Barbary Law, we specialize in getting you the best possible results. If you've been injured by someone else's negligence, you owe it to yourself and your family to call our legal team. At Barbary Law, we focus on one thing, and that's getting you the compensation you deserve. Every case we take personally.
My attorney is Joe Barbary. He can be yours too.
Mumford Oil and Gas Supply is your one-stop shop for top quality products and procurement in the Michigan oil and gas industry. With over 45 years of experience and a strong commitment to customer satisfaction, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply delivers the best solutions for your oil and gas production, drilling, and service needs. If you need it, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply can get it. Visit them on Fancher today or give them a call at 989-317-8582.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
This is the Mid-Michigan Sports Network coming to you live from the Barbary Law Studios built by Konwinski Construction. It's state quarterfinal baseball here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. The Irish, the Shamrocks of Portland St. Pat's. Stepping to the plate now is Isaiah Rocky for St. Pat's. On the mound, Mr. Siler. Shire got on leadoff. I've got it as a single, but the official box score's got it as an error. Since then, it was a pop out to third base and back-to-back strikeouts for Siler to close out the top of the first inning for Sacred Heart Academy. Irish, the home team here in this one. Here comes a grounder towards first base. It's going to be a tough play. Quick throw over to Siler. Not going to be in time trying to get the cover. Now trying to go to second base, though, and getting nabbed down is Isaiah Rocky. And so that's a single, but then he ends up out trying to go to second base. And so you do rule that one as a single, I would think, in the box score. We'll see if they put a hit up for Portland St. Pat's on that one. Logan Howe will now step to the plate. One down and nobody on. And the way that went for Rocky, it did go up to the backstop. The problem was the guy covering is Siler, who's a great pitcher, is able to throw it, mow it down. They actually do rule that one as an error on Sacred Heart Academy. Which seems kind of weird because they end up getting the out anyways, but it's just going to be ruled as an out in the Spockman box score. First pitch is going to miss to Logan Howe. Howe playing at third base in this one for Portland St. Pat's. He's going to take the second one. That'll also miss from Siler. 2-0 now the count to Logan Howe. Breaking ball over the zone that time from Siler. 2-1 now the count. We're scoreless here in the top of the second inning. Portland St. Pat's and Sacred Heart Academy. State quarterfinal baseball here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. This one popped up down the first baseline. Brady Davis giving chase, but it's going to be out of play into the bullpen here on the first baseline where Portland St. Pat's is at. Got the Irish down the third baseline dugout. St. Pat's down the first baseline dugout. Got bullpens on either side. 2-2 the count. Here comes the pitch from Siler. Strike three, ringing him up on the outside corner, looking. 2 down now for Portland St. Pat's with Mason Simon ready to step to the plate. T.J. Chamberlain behind him, hoping he gets an opportunity. Simon batting from the left side. Going to take the first one. It is over for a strike. I mentioned again, you just can't take pitches against these guys because they're going to be over for a strike, and before you know it, you're going to be down in the count really, really quick. Rocky, who's at the plate, Rocky was at the plate, is at second base in this one again. Still trying to get some of those defensive positions down so I can reset things for you when the Irish are up offensively. But Simon is at the plate. He is in left field. Check swing on that one. It'll be inside. 2-1 now the count to Mason Simon. 2 down here, top of the second inning, 2-1 count to number 21, Mason Simon. Next pitch from Siler. That's also going to miss on the outside corner as well. 3-1 now the count. Mentioned it on the year coming into the playoffs, 124 strikeouts to just 7 walks for Siler. That one right down the middle, count now 3-2. Simon taking all the way on that one. If you're going to get a free bag from Siler, you need to take it because it ain't easy to get a hit off the big number 13 out there, the righty. Swing and a miss. It's another punch out. Make it 4-2 as Davis and Siler continue the trend of striking out a pair in each inning for Sacred Heart Academy. It's Siler, McDonald, and Brody Cowlin due up next for Sacred Heart Academy as we head to the bottom of the second inning here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Siler's got it going, striking out 4-2. Not going to need a lot of help. The Irish get a run or two across. Think they should be in good shape in this one. Back with more Irish quarterfinal baseball right after this.
Weefridge Financial knows it can be incredibly overwhelming to navigate the world of financial planning. With trusted guidance and easy-to-understand advice, you can feel comfortable in your financial future with Weefridge Financial. Weefridge Financial assists people in all stages of life with a specialization in retirement and investment planning. Experience the power of working with an advisor dedicated to your success. Visit WeefridgeFinancial.com. Visit them in downtown Mount Pleasant. Call or text 989-953-7888. Weefridge Financial, member SIPC. The Bird in downtown Mount Pleasant, open every day but Sunday for lunch and dinner. Delicious pizza, the world-famous Bird Burger, handcrafted, fresh-baked subs, many apps, and much more. There's something for everyone at The Bird in downtown Mount Pleasant, where friends gather like family. The Bird, supporting high school sports in mid-Michigan for nearly 100 years.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Well, welcome back to it on this Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Nate Gator Siler is now at the plate. He struck out 4-2. See if he can help out his cause now as he steps to the plate for the first time. First pitch from Sean Fetterwell is going to be over for a strike. It went 1, 2, 3 in the first. A strikeout by Zion, a fly out to center field, and a fly out to left field from Duffy and Davis. That one's going to be over for a strike. 1 and 2 now the count. All right, now do have things set up defensively here for Portland St. Pat's. Again, the coaches never got the greatest writing. I'm like, wait, is that a 4? Is that a 6? Kind of thing. That one's fouled off by Siler. He'll stay alive to 1 and 2 count. Sean Fedewa on the bump. Charlie Thalen behind the plate. Tyler Thalen at first base. Isaiah Rocky at second. Shire at short. Logan Howe at third. And then it's it's Simon out in left field, Leonard in center, and Chamberlain out in right. Here comes a fly ball. It's going to get over the right fielder's head. He does a good job of corralling it. If Chamberlain doesn't get to that right away, I think it's going to be an in-the-park home run for Siler. It looked like it was going to bounce over the head of Chamberlain. He somehow kept it with them. Great job right there by Chamberlain, but a better job by Siler with the lead-off double. And this goes back to my keys to victory. You get the lead-off guy on, he has to come around, especially when you get the leadoff double from Mr. Siler. McDonald stepping to the plate. Again, this season, he has had more RBI than any other Irish baseball player in history. He swings at the first pitch. It's going to be popped up just out of play. Joe McDonald looking to make the barehanded grab behind the plate. 0-1 to count. McDonald digs back in. Now looks down the third baseline, getting some new instructions from head coach Earl Hartman. Fedewa, set, checks, winds, deals. That one's going to miss outside. Nice block at the plate from Charlie Thalen. That block brought to you by our friends at Block Electric Company. Comes the next pitch to Hank McDonald on the 1-1. McDonald swings and misses, strike 2. Great breaking ball right there on the mound from Fedewa, having McDonald fooled at the plate. Count now 1-2. Brody Collin is on deck. 1-2 to McDonald. He puts this one in play. It's high, it's deep. Gathering underneath it is the center fielder, Brady Leonard. He makes the catch. Thinking about tagging is Siler, but he makes a good decision to go back to second base. So fly out to center field. But again, I said it in the pregame. Got a guy on base. You got to put the ball in play to make them make it happen. McDonald wasn't able to drive in that run, but he did put it in play. Collin now stepping to the dish for Sacred Heart Academy. Had one plate appearance in the first game before he left with an injury. Again, he's a lot tougher than I am as he's back out there ready to roll here for game 2. And I imagine you weren't going to keep him out of game 2 if you were Coach Hartman. He looks at the first pitch. It's going to be a ball. And my favorite Brody Collins stat on the season, he is a very excellent .316 hitter, but his on-base percentage goes up 240 points to .556. If you don't throw this kid a strike, he ain't going to swing the bat, and he's going to take first base with the tip of the cap. Collins stepping back out, now stepping back in. Count remains 2-0. Fedewa checking that runner. A big lead for Siler out at second base. Now they're going to check him. He gets back just in time. One down here, bottom of the second inning. Sacred Heart Academy looking to get that run in. Leadoff double from Gator Siler. Collins going to take that one. It's going to be over for strike 1 on the inner part of the plate. Brody Collins steps out, now steps back in. Check that runner, Siler at second. Here comes the 2-1. Check swing there from Collins. They're going to say he didn't go around. Or no, do they say he went around? The umpires now getting together. I think they want to see if he thought he went around. Usually you see the point down to third base, and you see this, save or strike thing coming from the first base umpire, but they're all going to gather together right now in this situation. Looks like it's going to be a 3-1 count at the plate for Brody Collin. The umpires gathering together to make sure they have the correct call. And they will say that it plunked him, actually. And so it's going to be a hit by pitch for Brody Collin. I'll make the joke. I like them to getting together in that situation for that. And Joe Marciando's telling me, I caught him just in the elbow as he went to, and then he didn't go all the way around swinging, and so then it still counts as it hit him in the elbow there. Runners on first and second now for the Irish. Caleb Strauch at the plate. Big moment here for the senior batting from the right side, the DH in this one. He's going to take the first pitch. It's going to be over for a strike from Fedwa. Jackson Moore on deck, Nico Vasquez behind him, and then it would be back to the top of the order. That one's going to miss. Good eye by Strauch, not chasing on that one. The count is 1-1. Swing that time. It's going to be a foul ball just barely, and that is a good thing for Caleb Strauch. I think he would have been caught trying to go to first base if he was not able to make that happen there. Now moving a few things around here. So doing all we can to make sure that battery on the iPad stays live. It's getting a little warm here because it's obviously warm. Put the fan behind it, see if that helps things out. That one's also going to miss outside. 2-2 now the count here to Strauch. Runners on first and second. Just one down here in the second inning for Sacred Heart Academy. That one also bounces up there. Jackson Moore, the freshman shortstop, may have a chance to come to the plate with bases loaded here. Strauch's going to see something to hit. He's capable of sending one over the fence and putting up a 3-spot here for the Irish as well. Strauch digs back in on the right side, ready for the payoff pitch. Here it comes. Oh, it's going to be strike 3. Called on the outside for Fedwa for his second punch out of the ball game, and there is now 2 down. And I'll go back to saying runners on base. You got to put the ball in play in this ball game because opportunities may be limited. Jackson Moore now stepping to the dish. 2 down, runners at first and second. Fedwa checks that runner at second. Siler, he led off with a double. He's been stranded there so far. Here comes a hit out towards center field. It's caught at second base. Isaiah Rocky went up and made the catch. It wasn't, kind of jumping out of the gym type of catch, but it was definitely a web gem to strand 2 for Sacred Heart Academy. 1 hit, 2 left on for the Irish as we head to inning number 3. That might be a play to remember. The snag from Isaiah Rocky at second base that surely would have brought in at least Nate Siler if he was able to come around from second base. Going to take another quick break. Back with more championship baseball right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Value is not just a price. When you buy something for your home, it's an investment. Knowing that you're getting a great deal and service after the sale is priceless. At Woods Household, we only carry quality products for your home at competitive prices. Furniture that is attractive and durable. Comfortable mattresses that last for years. Flooring that stands up to wear and tear. These are all products that last by trusted name brands like FlexSteel, Serta, Whirlpool, and many more. So shop the Woods way.
Blocko Pools and Spas is Mid-Michigan's #1 pool and hot tub destination that will turn your old space into your #1 destination. From delivery of a full pool for the family to the relaxing hot tub for after work for mom and dad, Blocko Pools and Spas does it all. Stop by their showroom on Remus Road to check out their beautiful selection of hot tubs and learn how you can build the pool of your dreams.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. It's the Barbary Law Studios, built by Conwincy Construction. Finding ourselves at Tennyson Stadium this beautiful Saturday afternoon. Bringing you some Irish championship baseball. The Irish boys have already wrapped up their first regional championship in at least 20, 30 years possibly. 95 was their last state championship. Might also be their last regional championship as well. They're now playing the #1 team in the state, Portland St. Pat's. The winner of this game moves on to the state semifinals next week down at Michigan State University. Looking to drop down the bunt is TJ Chamberlain. He pulls it back for strike 1. The count is now 1-1 as Siler is working very quickly here in the top half of the 3rd inning. And why not? He's already punched out 4 through 2. Also had a double as that's his only time at the plate, but he was stranded there. Foul ball into into the stands here. Noah Zion giving chase from third base, but it just went over the third base dugout, and foul grounds not playable. Siler with a slow walk back to the top of the mound. Again, keys to victory in this game. If you get the leadoff runner on, you got to get him in. Leadoff runner was on for Portland St. Pat's in the first. They couldn't get him in. Leadoff runner was on second for Sacred Heart Academy in the second. They couldn't get him in. High fly ball. It's caught by Brody Collin. What a play. Going from his second base position all the way back behind first base, making the catch near foul territory. Great range right there from your second baseman. Maxim Boykin Lynch may have had a better angle on it, but the senior Brody Collin called him off and made the catch, or on the run heading towards foul territory. Big play right there. That would have been a big bloop single. Could have been a double for Chamberlain with how long that one was in the air as well. Now at the plate is Hudson King, the DH in this one. He shows bunt, pulls it back, but it's going to be over for a strike regardless. Siler quickly ready with the 0-1. Check swing there. They're going to say he didn't go around. 1-1. Defensively for the Irish. Again, Siler on the mound. McDonald behind the plate. Davis at first. Collin at second. Moore at short. Zion at third. Vasquez in left field. Duffy in center field. And Maxim Boykin Lynch out in right field. That one's going to be fouled off down the third baseline toward the St. Pat's dugout. Siler ready to work with the 1-2. Barely getting a piece of that one is Hudson King. He'll stay alive. And with a guy like Nate Siler, that's what you need to do sometimes when you have two strikes. Just try and foul things off as much as you can until you maybe get a good opportunity with Siler making a mistake. He's already punched out 4, and I mentioned it, on the year, 124 strikeouts to just 7 walks. All-time type numbers right there. Couple baseballs getting thrown in from each dugout here. Here comes the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Punch out number 5 for Gator Siler through 2 2/3. That'll bring Jared Shire to the plate. He was the only Portland St. Pat's Shamrock to reach base the first time through. Again, the Spockman box scores got it with a single. The official box score, the scoreboard here, has it via an error. Here comes the pitch. Great curveball there from Siler. Just misses the outside part of the zone to Shire. Shire swung at the first pitch he saw as well. Here comes the 1-0 from Nate Siler. That's going to be on the low outside corner for a strike. 1-1 now the count. Charlie Thalen on deck, hoping he gets an opportunity with a runner on first base. Catcher for Portland St. Pat's is in the on-deck circle. He's got the catching gear on the bottom part of his legs, but still waiting to put that helmet on along with the chest protector. Here comes the 1-1 from Nate Siler. This one's going to be sent towards right field. It's going to get over Maxim Boykin Lynch's head up against the 375 sign. Throw in from Tegan Duffy. This is going to be a triple for Shire. Throw comes in a little wild, but it's going to be a triple with 2 outs for Jared Shire. I mentioned if the leadoff guy gets on, you got to get him in. Shire's now reached base in both of his plate appearances. Problem for him, the next 8 guys have not been able to make it happen. That'll bring Charlie Thalen to the plate with 2 down. He popped out to third base his first time up. Zion made a great catch. I want to say it wasn't in foul territory. It was in fair territory. But here we go. Big moment in this ball game. Threatening with a runner at third base. Jared Shires, Charlie Thalen, the number 2 hitter, steps to the plate to see if Portland St. Pat's can get a run across against Nate Siler. This one fouled off to the screen. So if the screen wouldn't have been there, it would have crashed into the window from my broadcast booth here. 0-1 to count. Pitch from Siler. Great curveball. Swing and a miss from Charlie Thalen. It's quickly 0-2. Siler's ready to work, stepping back into the box as Thalen. And as soon as he gets the bat in position, Siler's going to be ready to throw. Here comes the 0-2 from Siler. It's going to be a base hit to left field. Coming in to score is Jared Shire on the RBI single from Charlie Thalen. And Portland St. Pat's strikes first with the RBI single from Charlie Thalen, and all of it coming with 2 outs. Shire's triple and this RBI single. There was already 2 down here into the bottom of the 3rd inning. St. Pat's with a run across on the RBI single from Charlie Thalen. A big-time hit right there from the catcher. That now brings Brady Leonard to the plate, and with his power, this inning, you're still in a whole lot of danger here if you're Sacred Heart Academy. Short lead over at first base. First one's going to be high and inside to Leonard. 1-0. I believe it's Leonard and Fedwa on the same travel ball baseball team out of Lansing as Nate Siler. So these 2 guys going up against each other right now, a bit familiar with each other. 1-1 the count. If they don't know each other that well, they definitely get to know each other this offseason as Leonard steps out of the box and steps back in. Here comes the 1-1. What a breaking ball right there for Siler. 1-2 now the count. Siler checks that runner at first. Here comes the 1-2. Just going to miss the outside part of the plate. McDonald was setting up outside to try and frame it back inside. But the umpires right there on top of things. Best view in the house. Brought to you by our friends at Woods Household Appliance. It's always those umpires out there. Strike 3 on the corner. Siler continues the 2 strikeout per inning trend for Sacred Heart Academy. But with 2 outs, there's a triple and an RBI single for Portland St. Pat's. They strike first as we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. And pardon me if I said it was the bottom of the 3rd moments ago. It's Nico Vasquez, Noah Zion, and Tegan Duffy due up for the Irish to see if they can get the offense going for Sacred Heart Academy. See if maybe they can match that run put up by Portland St. Pat's moments ago. And send it out to another quick commercial break here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Back with more Irish State quarterfinal baseball right after this.
Brad Malley Well Drilling has proudly served Mid-Michigan since the early 1990s. We are family-owned with 3 licensed drillers and over 100 years of experience. We specialize in 5-inch PVC water wells and systems ranging from 2 to 12 inches. Every well we do includes a 5-year warranty and 1-year parts and labor guarantee. We are available 24/7, and you'll always talk to a real person. Call Brad Malley Well Drilling today for a free estimate. Trusted service, generation after generation.
Clark Modular Homes in Mount Pleasant are a one-stop shop from the buy, the build, and beyond with their fantastic service department. Stop in to see their selection and purchase options today on Pickard Road or visit them online at modularhomesbyclark.com. Clark Modular Homes, supporting Mid-Michigan youth in and out of the classroom.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back inside our Barberry Law Studios, built by Konwinski Construction. Also love Gates Drilling and Service, Bill's Custom Fab, Bird All-American Grill, Clark Modular Homes, Weefridge Financial, Woods Household Appliance, Brad Malley Well Drilling, Malley Construction, Mount Pleasant Public Schools, Martinez Lawn Care, Martinez Painting, and Martinez Cleaning, Bogwai Bangor and Bradley, Powell Frame and Collision, Dick Sova Auto Sales, Brickner and Bunker, Farm Bureau Insurance Group, Block Electric Company, The Diner, WW Construction, All Seasons Fireworks, Pure Plumbing, Hanging by a Thread, GNS Mechanical, and our friends at the Maryland Chapman Memorial Fund. Shout out to Kevin Edwards, saw him helping out the softball field over at Sacred Heart Academy earlier today, making sure things were up to par for that. We'll have to check in on that regional championship game. They end up being Fowler versus, I imagine, St. Louis. St. Louis was the big favorite in the second game over there as Holton came in with their district champion but with a losing record. First pitch misses to Vasquez. The second one is over for a strike, 1-1, and now the count to Nico Vasquez. Bender is going to be over for a strike. Great pitch right there. Had Vasquez fooled, kind of bending the knees, and it dropped back over for a strike. 1-2 now the count. Here comes the 1-2. That one's going to miss outside, trying to get Vasquez to chase. Now 2-2. And score updates brought to you by Brad Malley Well Drilling, Malley Construction, and Clark Modular Homes. Our 2 softball teams in action fell in the regional semifinals. This one's going to be fouled off by Vasquez. Great job staying alive at the plate. Shepherd and Sault Ste. Marie fell to Gaylord 8-6, and just a couple miles away from here at the Sacred Heart Academy ball fields, it was Fowler besting Beale City 1-0 in an unbelievable pitching duel. And Fowler beat St. Louis 6-3. Shout out to Kevin Edwards for that update. Another big love to Kevin Edwards. When I was doing stuff last Saturday He sent me all those track and field updates. It was really cool to be able to acknowledge Aaron Locke winning that state championship in that 400. So a big shout out to Kevin Edwards. Everything he does to Maryland Chapman Memorial Fund, along everything he does to help this cat right here bring you the best broadcast possible. 3-2 the count. Vasquez steps back in. Swing and a miss. Big-time punch-out right there from Fedwa. It was a good at-bat from Vasquez. It took 7 pitches for him to go down, but could not quite get on base. That'll bring Zion to the plate, who struck out his first time up. Zion digging in on the right side. Again, wears number 3, plays third base. Seems like when he gets on, he just automatically scores a run with his speed and base running ability, very similar to what you saw from Grady Peratt last year. He takes the first pitch, ball 1. That second one he'll also take as well, 2-0. We got one down here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Portland St. Pat's got one across in the top of the 3rd with a 2-out triple and a 2-out RBI single. That one's going to be over for a strike, 2-1 the count. Zion steps back in. That one just missing, 3-1, and now the count. That will be ball 4. Noah Zion on with a 1-out walk. Again, Zion's capable of manufacturing runs on his own with what he does on the base path. Especially got Tegan Duffy and Brady Davis coming up. If he's able to take second base, you've got a great opportunity for 2 of your better hitters with a runner in scoring position. See how aggressive Zion is here. Not going on the first pitch. It's going to be outside. Maybe throwing outside on purpose for Charlie Thalen to try and get a good throw down to second base. And Coach now heading out on to the mound here for Portland St. Pat's. See what going down right here. And shout out to Joe Marciano. I do know that there's 2 Brady Edwards. One that runs cross country and track at Sacred Heart, and another one that plays football and baseball at Mount Pleasant. And the funniest part about that is both those Edwards boys are great friends and families are great friends. And so Brady Edwards from Mount Pleasant calling that game with me earlier. And shout out to Kevin Edwards giving me those updates. All right, quick meeting of the minds for Portland St. Pat's. 1-0 the count to Tegan Duffy. Wouldn't be surprised to see another pitch out here because they're expecting Zion to try and go. Zion doesn't go. There's a pitch on the outside, but it does hit the outside corner, 1-1. Brady Davis on deck. Zion at first base. Tegan Duffy at the plate. 1 on, 1 down here in the bottom of the 3rd inning as the Irish trail by 1. That one also outside, 2-1. Really protecting things here for Thalen at the plate. And you throw it right down the middle. You get a swing from Mr. Duffy to protect the runner. Kind of gives you another step if you're Zion. That one also outside, 3-1. Now the count here. You don't want to put 2 on for Brady Davis if you're Portland St. Pat's, especially St. Pat's getting that run across in the top of the 3rd. You don't want to give that run right back here and gain momentum. There's another walk. It's back-to-back walks for Sacred Heart Academy. Both of them happening on a 3-1 count. Zion now at second. At first, Tegan Duffy. And here comes Mr. Brady Davis. On the year, Brady Davis is a .539 batting average, a .650 on base percentage. It's just bonkers. He flew out to left field his first time up. First pitch is going to be outside from Fedwa. Davis steps back in. Knows to be very patient right now at this point as Fedwa's having a little bit of trouble finding the zone. That one also stays outside with the breaking ball. 2-0 now the count. And if Fedwa's got to come out of the game, they threw Brady Leonard in their first game. I know they've got other guys that can go, but this is the guy you want on the mound right now if you're Portland St. Pat's. But he's laboring out there a bit. He misses again. Davis takes again. It's a 3-0 count. Runners on first and second. The Irish trail 1-0 here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, but they are threatening. Here comes the 3-0. Taken all the way as Brady Davis. It's on the inside corner for a strike. Gator Siler is on deck. He's already doubled in this ball game. Again, he's somebody that's played travel ball with Fetterway. He's probably seen him a bit more than these Irish guys. This one smoked out to center field from Brady Davis. It's over the center fielder's head, over the wall, drops back into play. Rounding third is Zion. Rounding third is Duffy. Holding up at third with the 2 RBI triple is Brady Davis. And the Irish go up 2-1 here in the bottom of the third. They give up 1 in the top of the third and answer right back on the 2 RBI double smash. The J&J Auto Collision Report from Brady Davis. Woo! Give another sponsor some love. Davis today as hot as a block coat jacuzzi at the plate. The Irish now up 2-1 after putting up the crooked number here in the third inning, and they're still threatening with Brady Davis at third base. And I think right now the Portland St. Pat's coach is coming out. That did bounce over the wall, hit up against something beyond the wall in center field, and so this could be changed to a 2 RBI double. Waiting to see. It does not look like they are going to change things, though. And I think they're saying that that wall at the 400 mark is a part of the fence. It's not behind it. And so the 2 runs will stand on the 2 RBI triple from Brady Davis as the senior continues to be clutch all year long for the Irish. Siler now puts a blast into one out to center field. It's going to be deep enough to score Brady Davis on the sacrifice fly as he slides in on the RBI sac fly from Mr. Siler. 3 runs across here in the third for Sacred Heart Academy after giving up the 1 spot in the top of the third. You talk about stealing back momentum. The Irish have done it here in the bottom of the third as Hank McDonald now comes to the plate with 2 down and nobody on. Still got to be careful with McDonald. He is capable of sending one over the fence. Ropes this one to center field. It's going to be down for a base hit in front of Brady Leonard. And so the second time through the order against Fetterway, it's gone walk, walk, 2 RBI triple, sacrifice RBI, single. That will get it done. Brody Collin now heading to the plate. He was hit by a pitch back in the second inning and was stranded there. Walt McDonald coming into the game to run for his older brother, Hank McDonald, who's going to go get his catching gear on with those 2 outs. What a statement here from the Irish in the bottom of the third inning. Zion and Duffy both walk, and then Brady Davis bombs one to the 400 mark out in center field for a 2 RBI triple. Next batter, Siler's able to smoke one out towards center field, right at somebody, but deep enough to score Brady Davis from third after that 2 RBI triple. Hank McDonald comes up and singles. Now Brody Collins stepping to the plate. Benoit checks that runner at first. Here comes the pitch to Brody Collins. Great breaking ball is going to be over for a strike. 0-1 to the senior playing at second base in this one for Sacred Heart Academy. 0-1 is going to be fouled off down the third baseline. Caleb Strauch is on deck for the Irish. He struck out his first time up, but it was a really good at-bat running the count full. Here comes the 0-2 to Brody Collins. He's going to put this one past the shortstop and third baseman for another single. Oh, my goodness. What an inning here in the third for the Irish. It started off with a Vasquez strikeout, then walk, 2 RBI triple, sacrifice RBI. Now back-to-back singles have got runners on first and second for the DH, Caleb Strauch. As I mentioned, he struck out his first time up, but it was a full count. He did a good job battling with Fetterway. Swings at that first pitch, looking to send a drive to the gap right there to drive in those 2 runs was Strauch. Strauch digs back in on the right side. That one's also going to miss. Or that one's going to miss. 1-1, pardon me. Irish lead at 3-1 here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. We're in the bottom of the third inning. Portland St. Pat's got 1 across in the third. Here comes a grounder towards short. Not going to be an easy play for Shire. Over to first in time for the out. It's going to be a ground out to short for Strauch, but a great play by Shire, showing his range and showing that gun. The Irish get 3 runs across. They do leave 2 more on if you want to knock on something. If you're Coach Hartman or Coach McDonald, you've got 4, 5, 6 due up for Portland St. Pat's here in the 4th inning, and I think we're going to see a different Gator Siler on the mound, very similar to that game 1. You give Brady Davis a lead, you give Nate Siler a lead, they're just going to go out there a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more, well, I say throwing strikes. Siler kind of throws all strikes, but he's just going to go out there with some confidence that even if I throw one down the middle and give up a hit, we're still in the lead. Well, it's going to be Tyler Thalen, Isaiah Rocky, and Logan Howe. Siler has punched out 6 through 3, matching what Brady Davis did through 3 innings in our first game. And the winner of this one heads to East Lansing next week. As I pull things up here on the brackets, if you go to MHSAA.com/baseball, it'll bring up a whole lot of the information you need to see. The winner of this game will play the winner of Allen Park Cabrini and Royal Oak Shrine Catholic. That game is being played at Novi. And that game will be played on the 12th at 9 a.m. at Michigan State University. Siler back to the top of the mound, now working with a lead for the first time in this game, and boy, he has been great. He's given up 3 hits in the Spockman box score, 2 official hits. Shire with a single and a triple, and Charlie Thalen with an RBI single. That's it. Everybody else, it's been strikeout, fly out, out. Again, Siler inside corner for strike 1 to Tyler Thalen. You give this guy that 2-run lead, it's just scary, scary stuff now if you're Portland St. Pat's. Especially you got the lead in the 3rd inning and you give it right back up. This one's going to be fouled down the 3rd baseline, so quickly 2 strikes here on Tyler Thalen. Isaiah Rocky is on deck for Portland St. Pat's. He had an amazing catch earlier in this game and had, I don't even want to call it the controversial out. Here comes the 0-2 from Siler. This one's going to be sent out towards left center field for a base hit. Tyler Thalen with a great 0-2 hit right there to get on base for Portland St. Pat's to lead off this 4th inning. I'll say it again. You get that leadoff hitter on, you got to try and make it happen if you are Portland St. Pat's. Three and 1 the count. Or pardon me, 3-1 was the count. Goofing things up here, reading a message from Joe, and I've been goofing up Caleb Stroud's name most of the time, calling him Stroud. As well as I want to tell the kids, you got to talk some smack to me, especially Caleb. You can give me an elbow or a choke slam, and I ain't going to forget that name again. Second pitch is over for a strike to Rocky. It's quickly 0-2 to Mr. Isaiah Rocky. Nobody down. Top of the 4th inning. Portland St. Pat's trails 3-1, but they've got the leadoff runner on here on a single from Tyler Thalen. Comes the 0-2. It's just going to miss the outside corner. Trying to frame it is Walt McDonald, but he's not able to do so. Siler, quick throw over to first base. Diving back in time is Tyler Thalen. Siler back to the top of the mound here at Central Michigan University. Got that right foot on the rubber, ready to push off and send one to home plate. Curveball, it's going to be strike 3. That is punch out number 7 for Nate Siler. And I mentioned runners on base. You got to put the ball in play with that runner on first base for Isaiah Rocky. You at least want to have a productive out and try and move the runner up to second base. That'll now bring Logan Howe to the plate. He struck out his first plate appearance. Check of the runner over at first base. Diving back in safely is Thalen. Siler trying to do a good job making sure he stays close. Again, you get a good jump over there if you're Thalen. He's so fast. McDonald's a really capable catcher of throwing somebody out at second base, but these are just high schoolers. You get a good jump out there. That's a long way to throw that baseball after catching it, especially when you got the guy at home protecting plate. If he makes that swing, gives you an extra half second if you're a runner. That one's going to be over for a strike on the low part of the zone to Logan Howe. It's now a 1-1 count. Whole lot of ones out there. Here comes the pitch from Siler. That one's going to miss. 2-1 now the count. Mason Simon on deck, the left fielder. Struck out his first time up. Check that runner over at first base. Failing with a jump, but he's not going to go. What a breaking ball right there from Siler. Okay, it looks like it's going to go behind you if you're Logan Howe. And then as soon as it gets the dirt in front of the home plate, it just sinks right back over the strike zone for Siler. Just great movement right there. Here comes 2-2. Strike three, ringing him up once again. That is now 8 punch-outs through 3 2/3 for Nate, the Gator. Siler on the bump. Stat for you here. In 1995, Sacred Heart Academy boys won the state championship. That's the last time they were state champions. Scott Peratt and the crew leading the way. The Irish win here today. That would match that 36-win total for the all-time record for Sacred Heart Academy. 2 great breaking balls, both over the zone for a strike. Simon, nothing to do with them. It's now 0-2. Siler looking to punch out the side here for the first time. He struck out 2 at every single inning in the first, the second, and the third, and here in the fourth. Now looking for his third punch out in the fourth after the leadoff single, looking to strike out the side. Siler, check of the runner. Here comes the 0-2. That breaking ball breaks, but not back over the zone. 1-2 now the count. TJ Chamberlain, who flew out to second base, his first time up, is on deck, hoping he gets an opportunity. But it's another swing and a miss. Siler punches out the side, make it 9 strikeouts through 4 for Sacred Heart Academy. As we head to the bottom of the fourth inning, due up for the Irish, it's Jackson Moore, Nico Vasquez, and Noah Zion. Moore lined out to second base his first time up. Vasquez struck out the last time up for Zion. He walked and came around to score. Back with more Irish baseball right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Bill's Custom Fab can handle any job you need, from large-scale steel building projects to fixing your favorite stainless serving pan. Bill's Custom Fab can weld and fabricate anything. Call today at 989-772-5817 or stop by on Gover Parkway in Mount Pleasant.
Jenna Gates
And Kyle Gates here. We are the 5th generation with Gates Drilling and Service.
We've been serving our friends and neighbors in Michigan since 1893.
We have the latest and greatest well drilling technology, allowing us to put in wells where others can't.
Lake lots and tight spaces are no problem.
From our family to yours, thank you, and call at 989-772-7841 for all your well drilling and service needs.
Gates Drilling and Service, where Gates goes, water flows.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back inside our Barbary Law Studios, built by Conwinski Construction. Best seat in the house brought to you by Woods Household Appliance. I got a pretty good view here today, but it's always those umpires out there. They got the best view in the house, the best seat in the house brought to you by Woods Household Appliance. You want to have the best seat in the house? Go talk Brent and the crew at Woods Household Appliance, and they will get you hooked up. I've got the Catnapper as a couch. It's a couch that leans back so far, it's almost like a zero-gravity chair. I can just kind of fall asleep reclining in that bad rider. 1-1 the count to Jackson Moore, leading off this inning for Sacred Heart Academy. He lined out to second base, his first plate appearance. That one will miss from Fetterwa. 2-1 now the count. Jackson Moore, wearing number 7, steps out. Right side of that batter's box. That one's going to miss outside. 3-1 now the count to Jackson Moore. Moore's got a lot of speed. If they put him on as the leadoff man, he's going to be a big threat to try and steal a bag, especially with Vasquez coming up next and Zion around the way. That'll be on the low outside corner for strike 2 to run the count full. If you get this guy on, get the leadoff runner on, Vasquez definitely going to try and drop down a bunt to move up that runner, and also with his speed as well. There's a swing and a strike. Strikeout number 4 for Sean Fetterwa here. Again, Fetterwa's he's pitching really well in this game. You take out the stretch of that third inning, and he has kind of mowed down Sacred Heart Academy for the most part. But you've got that walk, triple, sacrifice RBI, single stretch. That is the difference in this game right now. We'll say that is the Bills Custom Fab fabrication of the game right now, even though it was more than one fabrication. 0-1 the count to Vasquez as he takes the first pitch. Second one's going to be fouled off to the backstop. It's quickly 0-2 now. Again, Vasquez did go down on strikes his first plate appearance, but it was a productive at-bat. It took 7 pitches for Metawa to send him down. Or Fetterwa to send him down, pardon me. Swing and a miss. There's another punch-out. Back-to-back strikeouts now for Sean Fetterwa. Make it 5 on the afternoon. Again, he's pitching great, but just what Siler's doing is just a bit better. This now brings Noah Zion to the dish. Zion technically 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout, but he's got a walk and a run scored back last inning in the third. Whew, great breaking ball right there. It's just going to miss the zone 1-0. Almost looked like a knuckleball there from Fetterwa. It just kind of fluttered up there, moving back and forth left to right, but stayed on the inside part of the plate a bit hot. Now outside strike corner call there. 1-1 the count. 3-1 Irish with the lead. 3 runs coming across in that third inning. Big cut of Zion was swinging for the fences on that one. It's now 1-2. Fetterwa looking to punch out the side as we just saw Siler do moments ago. I want to bounce up there. Good eye from Noah Zion. 2-2 now the count. Tegan Duffy is on deck. He walked and scored his last time up. Zion digs back in. Here comes the 1-2. Just want to be put in play towards short. It's going to be a long throw for Shire with the speed of Zion, but they make it in time. Zion wants the safe call. I think he wasn't there, though, as he tries to go safe, so it's going to be a ground out to short. That will send us to the bottom of the 4th inning. Or no. Yeah, it's going to send us to the 5th inning here as we continue to get things a little bit confused. But the ground out will end the inning. The Irish starting to think about closing in here on a state quarterfinal win and a chance to move on to the state semifinals next week. We're going to take a break. Be back with more Irish Championship Baseball right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Mount Pleasant Automotive on Mission has been serving local auto shops and do-it-yourselfers since 1988. Mount Pleasant Automotive is locally owned and carries all the auto part, car care products, and auto maintenance supplies you will need. Visit them online at mtpleasantautomotive.com. Mount Pleasant Automotive, caring for our cars and our local student athletes. Konwinski Construction offers a full range of construction services on small and large projects. Konwinski Construction is a leader in the community and are proud to support those student athletes who will be leading our community tomorrow. Konwinski Construction on Gover Parkway, Mount Pleasant.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Well, welcome back inside our Barbary Law Studios here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Our score, 3-1, heading to the 5th inning. Sacred Heart Academy in front. Mr. Nate Gator Siler has struck out 9 through 4. Struck out 2 in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the third, and struck out the side in the 4th inning. 3-1 is the score. A due-up is T.J. Chamberlain, Hudson King, and then it's back to the top of the order with Jared Shire. Shire has been getting it done. He reached base, first guy at the plate via an error. His second time, I got it as a single in the Spockman box score. He tripled his next time up. T.J. Chamberlain, the right fielder, flew out to second base his first time up. It was a really great play from Brody Collin at second base, showing his range heading towards foul territory back behind first base. 3-1 the score as we start the 5th inning here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. That was just going to miss on the inside corner from Nate Siler, maybe a bit low as well. 8-9-1 due up, brought to you by our friends Mallett Construction, Brad Malley Well Drilling, and Clark Modular Homes. Second pitch from Siler is going to be over for a strike. And coming into this game, 120, or coming into the postseason, I believe it was, 124 strikeouts for Siler to just 7 walks. He hasn't walked anyone here today. He struck out 9. And think about the few walks surrendered by Sean Fetterwa. That's essentially the difference in this game. High fly ball out towards left field. Vasquez ranging to the foul line to make the catch. That's another thing about this Sacred Heart Academy baseball team. The outfield is so good. It's so fast with good gloves. Nico Vasquez in left can cover a ton of territory. Tegan Duffy in center and Maxim Boyka Lynch might be the overall fastest one of the 3, the freshman playing out in right field. The DH, Hudson King, now at the plate. He showed bunt in his first plate appearance before he went down on strikes. Doesn't show it here this first time. Takes the first pitch for a 1-0 count. Next pitch from Siler. Going to be in the zone, 1-1. Jared Shire on deck again. You want him coming up with somebody on base if you're Portland St. Pat's. If you're Hudson King, you got to try and get on base any way you can here. And there's another great breaking ball from Siler. Say, King, you got to get on. Then Siler throws something like that. What are you going to do? Another swing and a miss on the curveball as punch out number 10 for Nate Siler through 4 2/3. That'll bring Shire to the plate. And Shire on the day in the Spockman box score is 2 for 2. An official box score would have him 1 for 2, but reaching base of both plate appearances. Error in the first inning, a triple in the third. After he tripled in the third, he was driven in by Charlie Thalen. Siler winds and deals. That one a bit inside, 1-0. So gets away from the catcher, McDonald, but no harm with nobody on base. Shire digs back in, wearing number 3, playing shortstop in this game for Portland St. Pat's. Great breaking ball right there from Siler. Hits the outside corner. Shire batting from the left side, going up against the righty Siler. So everything breaking in on him as opposed to breaking away from the righties. This one's put in play out towards first. Again, it's going to be a tough play toss to Siler. He covers in time for the out. That is textbook stuff right there. Ground out to first base. Great teamwork right there between Siler and Brady Davis. We're headed to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Irish, I don't want to say they're in control because it's just a 2-run lead, but they've got a chance to add to that 2-run lead total with the heart of the order. 2, 3, 4 coming up. Tegan Duffy, Brady Davis, and then Nate Siler due up here for Sacred Heart Academy in the bottom half of the 5th inning. They lead it 3-1 over Portland St. Pat's. It's number 1, number 2 in the state, battling it out here for the right to play in East Lansing. I think it's next Thursday or Friday. I have to double check that. Back with more Irish Championship Baseball right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Weber Brothers Sawmill has been in the sawmill and logging business since 1950. Weber Brothers Sawmill buys standing timber and logs all over central and northern Michigan with National Hardwood Lumber Association certification. You can be assured of a professional job, from the marking and cruising of your woods through the harvest. Weber Brothers Sawmill is a proud supporter of our local high school student athletes.
J&J Auto in Wademan is Mid-Michigan's elite automotive repair shop. J&J Auto offers complete collision repair and mechanical repair. Stop by on Wademan Road or call them today at 989-644-8908. J&J Auto, proud supporters of high school student athletes. Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
All right, so the Spockman math, 6-12 should have been able to figure it out. Next Friday, that game will be, it's a 9 a.m. start in East Lansing versus the winner of Allen Park Cabrini and Royal Oak Shrine Catholic. Royal Oak Shrine, a team that I've seen down at the state finals before. This one's smoked by Tegan Duffy to the gap in left center field. It's going to get by the 2 outfielders all the way up against the wall at the Adidas sign at the 375 mark. Rounding second, gliding into third base with the triple is Tegan Duffy to lead off the 5th inning. Tell you what, the second and third time through, they are really getting after Sean Fedewa here a bit, as Duffy has now flown out to center field, walked and scored a run, and now with a triple out to left center field, and we could have a pitching change coming here as Portland St. Pat's is heading out to the mound. If we do have a pitching change, we will take another short commercial break here. But it's 3-1 right now. There's nobody out, and we do have a new pitcher coming in, as it looks like Fedewa is going to be headed towards shortstop. I believe that'll bring Jared Shire into the game to pitch for Portland at St. Pat's. The Irish lead it 3-1 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. They've also got the leadoff runner on third base with nobody out. Yeah, with the way Siler's pitching, you get that one run across, it could be a big, big deal. And Jared Shire is now out on the mound. He's going to start warming up here for a minute for Portland St. Pat's. And so that will send us out to another commercial break to hear from our friends at Barberry Law and the crew. Big shout out to them. Bikes for Kids happening yesterday at Walmart. 7 kids getting bikes in the Mid-Michigan area for doing kind things for other folks. Shire on the mound warming up. We'll be back with more Irish Championship Baseball. It's the state quarterfinal. They lead it 3-1 in the bottom of the 5th inning. More coming up right after this.
Hi, I'm attorney Joe Barberry. Just like doctors specialize in areas of medicine, at Barberry Law, we specialize in getting you the best possible results. If you've been injured by someone else's negligence, you owe it to yourself and your family to call our legal team. At Barbary Law, we focus on one thing, and that's getting you the compensation you deserve. Every case we take personally.
My attorney is Joe Barbary. He can be yours too.
Mumford Oil and Gas Supply is your one-stop shop for top quality products and procurement in the Michigan oil and gas industry. With over 45 years of experience and a strong commitment to customer satisfaction, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply delivers the best solutions for your oil and gas production, drilling, and service needs. If you need it, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply can get it. Visit them on Fancher Day or give them a call at 989-317-8582.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Mumford Oil and Gas Supply, assist of the game. They always bring it. I will say the assist of the day. Mumford Oil and Gas Supply is going out to Mr. Joe Marciano and Brady Edwards for making us be able to be at 2 spots in 1 here today. They were over at the Sacred Heart Academy softball fields and saw Fowler best Beale City 1-0. What a performance from Emma Block in the circle against Fowler in that one. This one's going to be smoked out towards left field. It's going to be caught, but it's going to be a sacrifice RBI from Mr. Brady Davis. That'll make it his 3rd RBI just in this game. So we have 4 runs on the board, 3 of those RBI coming from Mr. Brady Davis. As you think about that Weber Brothers Sawmill timber of the game, our Zaid Batchelder baller of the game, well, he's at the plate right now if he continues his performance on the mound. He's got a double and a sacrifice RBI himself, does Nate Siler, and he has struck out 10 through 5. He's going to put a drive into this one down the first baseline. It's going to be trouble. It will be caught out in right field. Great play out there from Chamberlain. So now 2 down here in the 5th. So that one looked like it was going to drop for a bloop right near the foul line, but Chamberlain showing his range from right field coming in to make the catch. It's now going to bring Hank McDonald to the plate for Sacred Heart Academy. 4-1. Irish lead it here in the bottom of the 5th inning. They got 3 across in the 3rd and added 1 more here in the 5th. Breaking ball doesn't break that time for Shire as it sails on him, going to the backstop, 1-0 the count. The only real difference we had changing here, Fetterwell went to short, Shire went to the mound for Portland St. Pat's in this one. Good breaking ball right there, having Hank McDonald kind of bend out of the way, but just doesn't bust back enough over the zone. 2-0 the count to Hank McDonald. It's flown out to center field and singled in this game. Here comes a 2-0 from Shire. That's going to bounce up there. 3-0 the count. Brody Collins on deck. He's reached base both of his plate appearances and stranded both times, but hit by a pitch and singled. He loved the opportunity to come up here with McDonald on first base and 2 outs. That one's going to be on the inside part of the plate for a strike. McDonald was ready to take his base down at first. But the umpire, the only old Lee Corso, not so fast, my friend. Here comes a 3-1. This one's going to be fouled off. Count now quickly full. So if you're McDonald, you thought you were going to be able to take a walk there. Now it's a payoff pitch coming here. 2 down, bottom of the 5th inning. The Irish are already with 1 across here to extend their lead to 4-1. Timeout called at home plate by Hank McDonald. He wants to rethink things here, that 3-2 count. The power of McDonald, he is capable of sending one out here at Tennyson Stadium. 330 down the foul lines, 400 to center field, left center and right center. It's 375. Timeout called at home once again. This time, I think, by the umpire. Here comes the 3-2 to Hank McDonald. It's going to miss on the outside corner for ball 4. That's the 4th walk surrendered by Portland St. Pat's in this game. And with that 4-1 score, those 4 walks are kind of the difference in the ball game. You look at Noah Zion and Tegan Duffy both walking before the 2 RBI triple from Brady Davis. And you take those 2 runners off the base path off the board, we're looking at a possible 2-1 game. Walks playing a big factor in this one. St. Pat's walking 4, Siler walking nobody so far in this one. Now at the plate is Brody Collins. He'll take the first pitch. It's over for a strike. Walt McDonald in pinch running for Hank McDonald in this situation. This one's going to be put in play towards short. It's going to be bumped out there and not going to be in time. Brody Collins going to reach base for the third time in this ball game. Moving up to second base is Walt McDonald, and that'll be ruled an error in the official box score. But the Spockman box score now has Brody Collins pair of back-to-back singles. That'll bring Caleb Stroud to the plate now for Sacred Heart Academy. If he's able to send something to the outfield here, Walt McDonald coming in from second, you go up by 4 with the way Siler's pitching. Ooh, boy, it might be good night for Portland St. Pat's. Stroud looks at that first one. It's going to bust back over the zone. Great movement on that one. Stroud wasn't expecting that 12-6 curve there. Here comes the 0-1. It's going to be on the lower part of the zone for strike 2. 2 on, 2 down. 2 strikes here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The Irish lead at 4-1 over Portland St. Pat's. Here comes the 0-2. Stroud takes that one down 1-2. Jackson Moore is on deck. Vasquez behind him. Then you're already back to the top of the order. Shire checks the runner at second base. Sends it in. Stroud taking that one. Just going to miss the top part of the zone. 2-2. Great eye there from the senior at the dish. Big moment here in this one. If you're St. Pat's, the way Siler is pitching, you got to get Stroud here. You can't let him send one to the outfield to score that runner from second. Here comes the 2-2 from Shire. Check swing there. Stroud didn't go around, so that'll run the count full to 3-2. Great eye at the plate. Jackson Moore could have an opportunity with the bases loaded here. And if you are Stroud, you're going to see something to hit here. If you're Shire, you can't walk the bases loaded, down 3. Turn to check the runner at second, but a little miscommunication out there between Sean Fedewa and Jared Shire. They weren't quite ready for that throw. And it's a good thing Shire didn't throw it. It would have gone to the outfield. Here comes the 3-2. It's going to be strike 3, ringing up Stroud to end the inning. The Irish leave 2 more on the base path. That's 6 left on the base, but it's not going to matter if Siler continues to pitch the way he has. We are headed to the top of the 6th inning. It's 2-3-4 due up for Portland St. Pat's. If they're going to make it happen against Nate Siler, it's going to have to be these guys at 2, 3, and 4 to get it done. So if you ask me, the game is on the line. When we come back here in the 6th inning, Siler's back on the bump. The Irish lead at 4-1. Back with more state quarterfinal softball right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Weave Ridge Financial knows it can be incredibly overwhelming to navigate the world of financial planning. With trusted guidance and easy-to-understand advice, you can feel comfortable in your financial future with Weave Ridge Financial. Weave Ridge Financial assists people in all stages of life with a specialization in retirement and investment planning. Experience the power of working with an advisor dedicated to your success. Visit weaveridgefinancial.com. Visit them in downtown Mount Pleasant. Call or text 989-953-7888. Weave Ridge Financial, member SIPC. The Bird in downtown Mount Pleasant, open every day but Sunday for lunch and dinner. Delicious pizza, the world-famous Bird Burger, handcrafted, fresh-baked subs, many apps, and much more. There's something for everyone at The Bird in downtown Mount Pleasant, where friends gather like family. The Bird, supporting high school sports in mid-Michigan for nearly 100 years.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Charlie Thalen stepping to the plate for Portland St. Pat's. They're down to their final 6 outs. Gator Siler has averaged 2 strikeouts per inning. If he continues that trend, it's going to be good night, Portland St. Pat's, and hello, state semifinals for Sacred Heart Academy. A little broadcaster's jinx right there. Hit by a pitch is Charlie Thalen. Kind of leaned into that one a little bit. Would have made Brad Ancliffe very, very proud. So you've got your leadoff run around if you're Portland St. Pat's. You've heard me say it. You got to get that leadoff runner in when you get them on. They've had the leadoff runner on twice today in the first inning and in the fourth inning, but they've not been able to get any runs across. Their only runs came on 2 back-to-back hits with 2 outs in the third inning. Brady Leonard now steps to the plate. He fouls this one off to the backstop. He's 0 for 2 on the day with a pair of strikeouts. Siler checks the runner at first. Here comes the 0-1. Great breaking ball back over for a strike. Siler's just got it going right now. Much love to our friends J&J Auto, Blockco Pools and Spas, Conwinski Construction, Weber Brothers Sawmill, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply, ENS Graphics, Mount Pleasant Automotive, and Bryce Updegraff, Joe Wentworth, Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates. I often say our substitutions are brought to you by our friends at Mount Pleasant Automotive. Just like these coaches need replacement parts, so does your vehicle. But if you're Coach Hartman, you're not replacing that guy on the mound right now unless you have to. Here comes the 1-2. It's just going to stay high with the breaking ball. 2-2 count now to Brady Leonard. It's 4-1, Sacred Heart Academy with the lead. State quarterfinal baseball here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. The Irish looking to close the deal, put that nail in the coffin, brought to you by our friends at Berry Funeral Home, Joe Wentworth, Bryce Updegraff at Pradium Realty. That one also misses 3-2 now the count. And I mentioned a couple times today, 124 strikeouts to 7 walks. I don't imagine Siler's ever walked anybody back-to-back this year, as that one's fouled off on the 3-2 count. Pitch number 7 of the at-bat upcoming here for Brady Leonard. Siler checks that runner at first. Zings in the pitch, and that's going to miss high, and there it is. Back-to-back walks from Nate Siler. I guess one be a hit by pitch, but might be the first time all year it's happened. But if you're St. Pat's, you've got runners on first and second. There's nobody out, and your cleanup hitter's coming to the plate. This is where you got to make it happen. Earl Hartman trotting out to the mound right now. Siler's at 79 pitches. I don't think there's any way you take Nate Siler out of this game. But a hit by pitch to start the inning, then a walk surrendered has Charlie Thalen on second base, Brady Leonard at first base with Tyler Thalen coming to the plate. Thalen is 1 for 2 on the day. He struck out to end the first inning. He led off the fourth inning with a single. Problem was, after the single, Rocky went down on strikes, Howe went down on strikes, and Simon went down on strikes. Coach Hartman has everybody squared away as he heads back to the dugout. And defensively again, Siler on the bump, McDonald behind the plate, Davis at first, Brody Collin at second, Jackson Moore at short, Noah Zion at third. Nico Vasquez in left field, Tegan Duffy in center, and Maxim Boykin Lynch out in right field. Here we go. Tyler Thalen stepping to the plate. The first baseman, he has got the power to tie this game if he sent one over the fence. Siler dealing with 2 runners on for the first time in this ball game. They look to drop down the bunt, does Thalen. It's going to be a foul ball, 0-1. So Thalen wants a chance to move up those runners to second and third for Isaiah Rocky. Rocky's 0 for 2 on the day. 1 punch out. Tyler Thalen digs back in, batting from the left side. Here comes the 0-1. Wants to drop down to bunt. Once again, it's going to miss high for Siler. 1-1 now the count. Siler taking his time out there on the bump with those 2 runners on. Knows he needs to focus. Throws it inside. It's going to get away from McDonald, and so you're not even going to have to move up the runners with the sacrifice on the pass ball there. Thalen moves up to third. Brady Leonard moves up to second, and it's now a 2-1 count to Tyler Thalen. And now your cleanup hitter is not going to be looking to drop down the bunt here in this situation. 2-1, the count. Runners on second and third. What a moment in this ball game. Getting down to the nitty-gritty here in the top of the 6th in the state quarterfinals. Game-tying run at the plate for Portland St. Pat's. Swing and a miss. Turning up the gas on that one was Mr. Siler. I do have a score update brought to you by our friends Brad Malley Well Drilling, Malley Construction, and Clark Modular Homes here in just a moment. 2-2 the count. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be fouled off, out of play. We'll do the 2-2 again. Congratulations to Coach Gray, Kyra Gray, and the Lady Wildcats of Everett. They're headed back to the state semifinals. They're now 41-0 on the year. Today they bested Sanford Meridian 5-0 and Standish Sterling 1-0. Grounder up the middle. This will score one run. Smart play by Brody Collin to get the sure out over at first base. And so Tyler Thalen's going to get the sacrifice RBI written down in here. Charlie Thalen comes in to score. Moving up to third is Brady Leonard. That's going to bring Isaiah Rocky to the plate. One down here in the sixth inning. 4-2 now the score as Portland St. Pat's gets one across. Talked about, walks being the difference in this game. You had 4 walks for Portland St. Pat's, 2 walks here for Sacred Heart Academy, allowing Portland St. Pat's to get in a run. I should say giving up a walk. Shamrocks have given 4 walks to Sacred Heart. Sacred Heart now given 2 walks to Portland St. Pat's. Here comes the first pitch. They at bat. They look to drop down the bunt. It's a good one. They look to get the throw home. It's in time. Siler to McDonald for the out. They wanted to get the old squeeze play. Did not happen. Rocky's going to reach via fielder's choice, but out trying to go home is Brady Leonard. That will be our Mumford Oil and Gas Supply assist to the game right there. Siler quick on it, not in time for the squeeze. Coming home was Brady Leonard, the speedy center fielder. What a play from McDonald and Siler. That's always so tough. If McDonald takes one step going for that bunt, he's not going to be able to apply that tag. And so Siler had to come off the mound near home plate, make that short throw on time. What a play right there for the Irish. Now just a runner on first base with 2 down here in the sixth inning for Portland St. Pat's. At the dish is Logan Howe. Takes the first pitch for a strike from Siler. Curveball's just going to miss that time. And if you get Howe out here, you have the bottom of the order coming up in the 7th inning for St. Pat's, who is a combined 0 for 6 with 4 strikeouts. Matter of fact, you throw Howe in this situation, the bottom 4 in the order are 0 for 8 with 6 strikeouts. Count is now 1-2 to Howe. And so if you're Howe, Simon, Chamberlain, King, you got to do something here now or in that 7th inning to try and turn that order back around. Siler sends in the 1-2. It's going to be put high in the air. Zion calling everybody off from his third base position. He'll make the catch near the foul line. So pop out to third base. 83 pitches, I think it is, for Siler. So he's got a lot to go in the 7th inning. And the Irish still have a chance to make something happen here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. It's Jackson Moore, Nico Vasquez, then back to the top of the order for the Irish. We're going to be back right after this here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. The Irish looking to close that deal and head to the state semifinals in East Lansing next Friday.
Value is not just a price. When you buy something for your home, it's an investment. Knowing that you're getting a great deal and service after the sale is priceless. At Woods Household, we only carry quality products for your home at competitive prices. Furniture that is attractive and durable. Comfortable mattresses that last for years. Flooring that stands up to wear and tear. These are all products that last by trusted name brands like FlexSteel, Serta, Whirlpool, and many more. So shop the Woods way.
Blackhole Pools and Spas is Mid-Michigan's #1 pool and hot tub destination that will turn your old space into your #1 destination. From delivery of a full pool for the family to the relaxing hot tub for after work for mom and dad, Blackhole Pools and Spas does it all. Stop by their showroom on Remus Road to check out their beautiful selection of hot tubs and learn how you can build the pool of your dreams.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back inside our Barbary Law Studios, built by Konwinski Construction on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. It's 4-2, Sacred Heart Academy with the lead in the bottom of the 6th inning. Jackson Moore leads things off with a grounder towards third. Throw's going to be a bit high. They're going to say just barely staying on the bag was Tyler Thalen, using every inch of his height to get that out. So a ground out to third base for Jackson Moore to lead things off. That'll bring up Nico Vasquez, and then we're back to the top of the order with Noah Zion. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Portland St. Pat's is down to their final 3 outs. At this point, they would need 2 runs in the top of the 7th, and that would still allow Sacred Heart, no matter what happened at the top of the 7th, Sacred Heart to have a chance to answer back in the bottom of the 7th. But right now, the Irish hoping they don't even need to step to the plate in the bottom of the 7th inning if they can hold this 4-2 lead. Vasquez takes the first pitch, ball 1. Second pitch he takes as well, strike 1. 1-1 now the count. He's going to put this one in play to the ground. Nice play by Shire. You can tell he's a shortstop. Ground out back to the pitcher is quickly 2 up and 2 down here for Sacred Heart Academy. That'll bring the Flying Z, Noah Zion, to the plate. It's technically 0 for 2 on the day, but he does have a walk and a run scored back in the 3rd inning. Or the first run of the ball game for Sacred Heart Academy. Tegan Duffy, who's on deck, has 2 of the 4 runs. Brady Davis, who's in the hole, has driven in 3 of the 4 runs. First pitch to Zion's going to be over for a strike. Here comes the 0-1 from Shire. That's going to miss, kind of bouncing up there. Much love to our friends, Mount Pleasant Public Schools, Martinez Lawn Care, Bo Guabang on Bradley, Powell Frame and Collision, the Maryland Chapman Memorial Fund, GNS Mechanical. Zion fouls this one off to stay alive. Also love to the official embroiderer of the Mid-Michigan Sports Network, hanging by a thread. Pier Plumbing, All Seasons Fireworks, WW Construction, The Diner, Block Electric Company, Brickner and Bunker, Farm Beer Insurance Group, along with Dick Sova Auto Sales in Shepherd. Here comes the 1-2 to Zion. It's actually going to go behind him. Shire wasn't able to get a grip on that one. So far behind Zion, he didn't even have a chance to kind of work his way back into it. 2-2 now the count. Also loved Dance Again, a Duresco Assignment Shop in Wademan. You don't got to go to the big city to look pretty. Let's get old Carol Lynch at Dance Again, and she will get you hooked up. This one put in play up the middle, off the glove of Schuyler, over towards short. Fedewa, it's not going to be in time. Infield single there for Noah Zion to keep the bottom of the 6th inning going for Tegan Duffy. Also love to our friends at CNC Enterprises, your home for all things Red Wing and Irish Setter boots in your Carhartt headquarters. Also loved Amy Bunting and the crew, Isabella Community Sportsplex, Mount Pleasant Heating and AC, Smith & Sons, the Beale City Village Store, Sydney's Judges Bench, Dog Central, Barry Funeral Home, Boomer's Lawn Care, Doozy's Ice Cream Place, Almost Up North and Stitches for Britches, Schaefer's Bait and Sporting Goods, Gross Farms, Bragg Gross Electric, The Fisher Companies, and Kenneth Eggert DDS. The first pitch to Tegan Duffy misses 1-0. And if you're Sacred Heart, just a 2-run lead, you're definitely still on the attack here with 2 outs. Watch Zion and maybe try and take a bag to move into scoring position for Duffy. As I say that, Shire with the quick throw over to first base, diving back in time is Zion. And after this game, the Irish are able to hang on to win. We'll come back with a quick Bird All-American Grill post-game show, and then we'll try and head down on the field with these guys as well. That one's going to get through for a base hit. Rounding second, holding up there is Noah Zion. Back-to-back singles from Sacred Heart Academy have got runners at first and second. And oh no, if you're Portland St. Pat's, here comes that man again who's driven in 3 of the 4 runs for Sacred Heart. It's Brady Davis. He's got a 2 RBI triple and a sacrifice RBI his last 2 plate appearances. He just has absolutely smashed the baseball. A big shout out to his mom, Krista Davis, who I know is tuning in and is probably barely able to stay lying down, probably trying to jump up and down at this point with excitement. 1-0 as that one misses to Brady Davis. A big shout to Krista Davis. Again, Mid-Michigan Aces, what they've done for volleyball in this area. You start to see some deep postseason runs, seeing really good records, similar to softball in the area. That is the big reason why, what she is doing, these young ladies up at Maury Courts and other places. This one's going to be smoked foul down to the third baseline by Davis. The count now 1-1. If he had straightened that one out, it would have been a lot of trouble. And as I mentioned, Mid-Michigan Aces, I should probably also mention the Sacred Heart Academy volleyball team. It's had a pretty good run as of late under Coach Davis as well. Here comes the 1-1 to Brady Davis. Again, pop this one out of play, down the third baseline into the dugout area. The count now 1-2 to Davis. And you got the quick 2 outs, and then back-to-back singles from Zion and Duffy. This would be a bit of a backbreaker right here if the Irish could get an insurance run in. Davis digs back in on the left side. 1-2 count. Here comes the pitch. It's going to miss outside from Shire. 2-2 now the count to Brady Davis. And with Siler on deck, he's had a double and a sacrifice RBI in this one. You can't really pitch around Davis and then McDonald after that. The heart of this, the whole lineup for Sacred Heart, it's just got so much speed and so much power, but this middle part of the lineup, it is just dangerous. That one's fouled off to the backstop. Davis just missing that one. 2-2 will remain the count. We've got pitch number 6 of the at-bat upcoming here. Shire doing everything he can to try and hold down the Irish here in the bottom of the 6th inning to give his team an opportunity in the top of the 7th. They've got the bottom of the order coming up in the 7th for Portland St. Pat's. That one's going to miss high to Brady Davis. The count is now ran full. Pitch number 7 of the at-bat upcoming here for the senior superstar. Davis digs back in on the left side. Knows he's going to see something to hit here. Here comes the 3-2. It's put in play out towards left center field. It's deep. Oh, but it's going to be caught out there. Great play, catching it on the run by Simon on the fly out to left field. A very dramatic fly out to left field. We will keep our broadcast right here. If there's one thing to knock on for the Irish, they've left 2 on base in the 2nd, the 3rd, now the 5th, and the 6th inning. But they lead it 4-2. They have out-hit Portland St. Pat's 7-3. Due up is Mason Simon, TJ Chamberlain, and Hudson King. Simon has gone down via the punch-out twice. Hudson King has gone down via the punch-out twice. And then TJ Chamberlain has flown out to second base and flown out to center field. It's a combined 0 for 6 coming up for Portland St. Pat's. You've got over 20 pitches still for Nate Gator Siler to try and finish the complete game here in the state quarterfinals against the number 1 team in the state, Portland St. Pat's. And also a little bit of an extra, shrug your shoulders, have a little bit of a chip on your shoulder if you're Siler. Once you go to the offseason and play on that summer ball, a couple of these guys are on your team. You will have the bragging rights over them, especially after you shut them down on the mound. But there's 3 outs that the Irish have got to get. Simon, Chamberlain, King. Siler back on the bump. McDonald behind the plate. Davis at first. Collin at second. Moore at third. Moore at short. Zion at third. Vasquez in left. Duffy in center field. And Boynton Lynch out in right. Final countdown being played over the loudspeakers here at Tennyson Stadium. And Mr. Brenton Scobie, what a job he's done here today from Mount Pleasant Public Schools. I told him, man, come pulling in Tennyson Stadium. You get out of your car and you hear that organ. Oh, it just puts you in the mood. Here comes the first pitch of the at-bat. It's going to miss outside to Mason Simon. And that's the one thing you can't do. You had the back-to-back walks in the 6th inning for Siler. You got to go after these guys here at the bottom of the order. They're going to say that one also missed as well. 2-1. Really close on the inside there for Siler. 2-0 pitch. That one's going to be over for a strike. It's the number 7 hitter, Mason Simon, the left fielder at the plate. Did just make a nice play moments ago to end the inning. Siler winds and deals with the 2-1. That's going to be over for a strike. 2-2 now the count. Kind of a half check swing there for Simon, but he didn't go around. And if you're Simon, Chamberlain, or King, one of these guys has to get on to bring Shire back to the plate. High fly ball out towards center field. Duffy gathering underneath it, and he'll make the catch gliding towards left field. And so 2 outs away are the Irish from advancing to Michigan State University Friday, 9 a.m. for the state semifinals. The Mid-Michigan Sports Network will be there. Bit of an early morning for this guy, but it's not going to be hard to get out of bed and drive to Lansing for a state semifinal baseball game. First pitch is going to miss inside 1-0 to TJ Chamberlain. The Irish down to their final 2 outs. That one's over for a strike. 1-1 now the count to Chamberlain. And if you're Chamberlain or King, just got to get on to try and bring Jared Shire to the plate, who was technically 1 for 3 on the day, but the Spockman box scores got him as 2 for 3. Big swing and a miss there. Chamberlain swinging for the fences. Siler had him fooled. Here comes the 1-2. It's going to be put in play out towards third base. Zion trying to catch it towards foul territory. Makes the catch right up against the netting. A little bit of a web gem right there from Noah Zion for the second out. And you now hear the clapping. The crowd doesn't want to sit down now because they know they are 1 out away from their team advancing to the state semifinals. It's Hudson King. He's gone down via the punch-out twice in this one. Curveball stays inside. 100 now on the pitch count for Siler. This one put in play towards first. Davis fields it. Over to first in time for the out. 4-2. Sacred Heart Academy is victorious as they run on the field and absolutely mob each other because they're headed to the state semifinals in East Lansing next Friday at 10 a.m. Sacred Heart Academy wins it 4-2. The number 1 team in the state falls to the number 2 team in the state. Gator Siler with the complete game 10 strikeout performance. He is our Zeta Batchelder baller of the game, brought to you by Weefrich Financial. We're going to take a quick break, come back and put a bow on this one, then I'm going to try and head down onto the field to talk with the boys. Back to put a wrap on this one right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. The Irish win it 4-2, winning a regional championship and a state quarterfinal game all in the same afternoon. Back with more right after this.
Weefrich Financial knows it can be incredibly overwhelming to navigate the world of financial planning. With trusted guidance and easy-to-understand advice, you can feel comfortable in your financial future with Weefrich Financial. Weefrich Financial assists people in all stages of life with a specialization in retirement and investment planning. Experience the power of working with an advisor dedicated to your success. Visit WeefrichFinancial.com. Visit them in downtown Mount Pleasant. Call or text 989-953-7888. Weefrich Financial, member SIPC. Martinez Painting, Central Michigan's trusted painting professionals. They specialize in both interior and exterior jobs for your home and business. No matter how big or how small the job, they transform any space with quality and precision. Learn more by visiting Martinez Painting on Facebook today or give them a call at 989-317-5536. All Seasons Fireworks is a big fan of all the athletes, coaches, officials, and volunteers who make high school sports happen. To make your next event bigger and brighter, stop by All Seasons Fireworks on M20 in Mount Pleasant. Graduations, birthdays, weddings, or a big win become more memorable underneath a night sky lit up by the magic of fireworks. All Seasons Fireworks on M20 in Mount Pleasant. When your team or business needs to look good, don't get left hanging. Call or stop by Hanging by a Thread in Wademan, the official embroiders for the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Hanging by a Thread, a proud supporter of local schools.
GNS Mechanical in Wademan offers service and installation on everything for your home and business. From a simple filter replacement to furnace, central air service, and install, geothermal, and walk-in coolers and freezers. If you have a need, GNS Mechanical has a solution. Learn more at gnsmechanical.com or call 989-644-2106.
Imagine a home that reflects your style. With WW Construction, that dream will become a reality. As a trusted Mid-Michigan builder, WW Construction specializes in builds and remodels that turn ordinary spaces into extraordinary ones. Join the growing family of homeowners who trust WW Construction for quality and craftsmanship. Call WW Construction today at 989-621-2722 to make your dreams a reality.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Chris Bachman back with you, Bird All-American Girl post-game show. And you've heard a lot from me here today, and so I've got a little Sacred Heart Academy baseball royalty joining me, Mr. Grady Perrette. Grady, first of all, congratulations on a great freshman season at Elma, but you know all of these guys so well. They looked to you as a leader last year. You guys were in the same spot last year, very, very close, losing in 12 innings to this team.
Yep.
Just talk about what you guys were going through, you and Joe and Bogue watching the game, how excited you guys were, your thoughts on the game.
Yeah, it was awesome getting it. It was almost the same setup as last year, same team, same field, same postseason atmosphere, and you definitely get the jitters back. Like me and Jason and Joe were all down there reminiscing about like the crowd and like the energy, and we knew how they were feeling in that moment, and it was amazing to see them capitalize on their moments today and be able to pull it off.
Yeah, and Brady Davis, you talk about what he did in the first game, and then he's responsible for 3 of the 4 runs batted in this game. Talk about what he's been as a teammate for you when you were there.
He's always been a great presence in the dugout, and especially on the mound as a dominant pitcher playing defense behind him. But, I mean, his bat this year has been incredible. You know, he improved so much, and I think that comes with leadership, that comes with experience, being, you know, senior year, coming around when it really matters most. But, man, today
how proud? You probably feel like you won this game a little bit too. Is that?
Yeah, I'm very, very proud of these guys. It's just putting a smile on my face seeing them right now.
Yep, Sam Earing said we're going to end our Bird All-American Grill post-game show here. I'll be on the field with our state finalist Irish here in just a minute. But Grady, thanks so much for coming up here, Chelsea. I told you, so they've heard enough from me. I think people want thoughts of a guy who was in this game last year and just got to feel. I guess last thing, Gator. 10 punch-outs. Is there much more to say?
There's not much more to say. Dominance. See if you keep it going. Let's go.
Yeah, the one leadoff single they kind of got. He struck out the side to shut it down. The Irish, 4-2 over Portland St. Pat's. Next Friday, 9 a.m. at Michigan State University, the state semifinals. Chris Bachman, Grady Perrette signing off for now. Check Facebook here in just a few minutes for a little bit more Bird All-American Grill